All right, I'm back with a weekly market analysis. I haven't done one in a while. I was trading crypto for a while, um, and the market's kind of been consolidating on the lower time frame. So let's have a look what we have, starting with the DXY. Okay, let's go look at the monthly, which we are on. We came into a monthly inversion gap. We used it, we took out the previous year's high. It's a lot of liquidity in the previous year's high, so the retracement is expected. Let me see what we have here. Okay, I'll remove this. And below here, just to remember, we have the previous year's low, and as well as this yearly R2F, yearly R2F BC. Okay, let's go to the lower time frames. We had this trend line as well, which we can see on a lower time frame. So straight down to the 2 weeks. So we had previous year's high taken out, 2 weeks CB as well. See that? So we came into that, and then we had quite a decent retracement, closing the 2 week exactly on the retest of this trend line. So now we have another 2 weeks, which end in 5 days. So in the coming week, that would end the next 2 week candle. So what are we possibly expecting? So we came into this 2 week gap here, and we could be expecting higher prices. Okay, a couple of retests on this trend line. I don't use trend lines to trade, but just based on just experience and using ICT's concepts, we do have a 2 week busy here. We had a 1 week busy over here. Okay, let me highlight it in a different color over here, and it's quite a down close candle closing below here. So technically, you could call that an order block. So we trade it into there and then trade it down. And now we're in the 2 week busy. We're still in the 2 week. So do we have a 3 week? No, we don't have a 3 week yet, but we do have a 3 week down here. Okay, so we can annotate that just in case. Busy 3 week over there. Let's hide it on other time frames. Okay, I'm gonna remove that. Not so relevant. And yeah, so the 2 weeks in here. No, this is the weekly. So it is possible to come down into here and then expand up. This 3 week closes in 12 days. One more week after the 2 week candle closes. So let's go down to the weekly. Okay, the weekly we have a small gap here, which overlaps the 3 week as well. So that could be interesting. And we had this weekly that traded into here. So most likely it won't come down that low if we're going to trade higher. Yeah, we're starting to trade that low. That does not bode well for the dollar. We'll compare other assets to come up with a bit more conclusive bias if one is available. So let's go to the 4-day. Okay, 3-day. On the 3-day, see we have a breaker here. Trade into that, trade down. Okay. 2-day, we have also a gap with a breaker. And the 1-day over here, right? Same thing. We got a gap, trade it down. No gap currently, and we close the week like that, right? We close the week like this. So let's see what we get on the coming week. As for a refined POI, we have this order block here. If we break below, one scenario could be, and then breaking down to who knows where. All right, completely possible, but let's see. Not coming to a bearish conclusion yet. See 3-day busy here. Okay. And all right, so let's go look at some other pairs. Currently on the dollar index, yeah, we are just waiting. It's kind of consolidating a bit. I want to look for some manipulation or an expansion above in order to continue higher. And we got this weird overlapping down candles here. It opened, close here, and then it opened where it opened previously, and then it closed lower as well and started pushing down. So okay, let's go to check the monthly on. Yeah, we got overlapping of a monthly breaker here as well. So if we 1 month for this candle, yeah, we'll see. And let's go to the euro. Okay, see over here. So we came into this 3-month gap that overlapped with this breaker. It came into there multiple times, but all in this general consolidation. Okay, it didn't leave it and then come back. So let's go to the 6 months. As you can see, there's still time frames on the higher time frames that are being used. 12 months. All right, so interesting. We have this breaker here in terms of a body and this gap, and we're here. If we close the year like this, I'd be looking for lower prices on euro, which may be quite possible with Trump coming into presidency as the US dollar gains strength. It's using a bit of fundamentals. Now let's go look at other pairs like other dollar pairs. Okay, so we had a 12-month gap there that did not get traded into. We left it, and let's see what we have here. It's not so clear on the Australian dollar. We had a 6-month gap, CB, that traded into, created an order block, and we respected this order block. We're pushing down, so some lows, equal lows here. These look nice to target. Okay, and yeah, I think we can go for that. And below that, there's nothing really much. Okay, this is all we had on the 6-month. So I can't say for sure, but I think the draw definitely these lows. So Australian dollar, similar. Let's go to a lower time frame first. What I can say is that we got this trend line here. All right, we traded up and then down. Okay, so we're already here. Most likely we're gonna take this out. We might get a bounce first. Who knows? It's a bit of manipulation and then falling lower. It's quite possible, but we should be taking out this low at least. Sorry, and then the pound. The pound as well. We still have a trend line intact. Right on the monthly, 4-month. Yes, nice. 4-month traded up into here. We got a void here, and it's a bigger overall structural breaker. So we may be seeing lower, and then a creation of a actual bearish breaker here. Let's go back to the monthly. 12-month. We actually came into a 12-month gap. I think I mentioned that a while back. And now, yeah, we should be taking out this low. Monthly. Let's see if we create any fair value gaps on the monthly. 2-week. We're in this 2-week gap here. And there's a void there as well. 2 weeks. So this is to be 2-week. Overall, this general area. Equilibrium would be up there. All right, OT here. But we have this overall structural breaker, which we came into plus a gap. So confluence of PD arrays, good for bias. Okay. Let's go in the 3-week. Nothing there in the 3-week. Okay. So how would we know when to short, right? Go down, look at the time frames. Okay, this is the 2-day. We had a nice 2-day OB, expanded up, and now we're here. What's possible here is a move higher, or possibly we just close lower and then create that as a breaker, a possible inversion gap here. Okay, so gaps that I may think may become an inversion gap later. I'll label it as used, so that I know what may be possibly used later for an IFG. Let's go down to the daily. Okay, 12 hour, 4 hour. Okay, got this nice breaker. I mean, that looks pretty nice. Um, yeah, I do not like to get into a trade just at the start of the week. I mean, start of the pretty much, the first 1 or 2 hours, actually, maybe the first 4 hours. Um, a bit dangerous, but it is a nice setup over here. Let me just label it. Okay. Possible move. Yeah, trading into this breaker gap and then lower. So where opposing PD arrays. Okay, so let me highlight this. Okay, just 2 4-hour opposing PD arrays in here and then into here. Okay, that can be a decent trade. 37 pips. You could just put a limit there and something on top. But let's see, is there a possibility this does not work out because we have this 8-hour R2F. All right. This looks interesting as well because we have a, sorry for all the colors, we have an inversion gap here. Okay, so it should take out this low and then come into here on the 11-hour as well. So an R2F gap. So I like this. I like this on the British pound. Yeah, okay, so that's good. Monthly. Again. All right, so let's have a look at dollar yen, dollar yen, dollar yen. All right, so we came into a CB R2F, but we also created a CB BC, or rather possible inversion gap on the monthly. Okay, like I said before, and generally, you do not want a discount gap be created after trading into a premium gap. So we traded into this CB 1 week premium. Now we got this inversion gap. Okay, but it is quite a big rejection, and overall this displacement is stronger. Yeah, so we do have liquidity down here, and I can't say whether we'll be trading into that yet. Might get like a head and shoulders pattern. I don't trade patterns, but you might get something like that retail may be looking at. If we expect the euro to go lower, then technically yen to go higher overall as well. So be watching out for this. If you go into 2 weeks, 1 week, okay, 1 week, got a nice 1 week breaker here, which may lead us to lower prices. So on the pound, we're expecting lower prices. On the yen, also possible lower prices. On this is a weekly. Okay, on the pound was 4 hours, so yeah, don't worry about that. It's not the same time frame. Oh, this nice gap down here. This one's interesting. Yeah, looks nice. One possible scenario into here, probably maybe around, I don't know, somewhere there. Just eyeballing it because we have a gap, but we have a bit more wick over here, but we have this breaker. So think of it as sandbags that are basically stopping price. So going through this breaker, gap, wick, breaker. So let's see how low we can go, and then we have the fibs on here as well. And okay, 62 is actually just right there. So let's see. Quite interesting. Gold. Okay, gold. What do we have on a monthly? We came all the way back to this monthly gap, and then we closed down weekly gap. Sorry. Okay, some old drawings in here. An old video. Inversion gap, but then we also have this discount gap. So yeah, I'm not so sure about gold at the moment. Have to wait and see. Although we do have this breaker. Let's go to the higher time frames. Weekly, monthly. All right. Monthly, we came to a gap. But again, gold is at all-time highs. Okay, I want to see how we react in this gap. If we were going to go higher, we'd start, maybe spend a little bit of time slowing down. Anyway, I don't see the month close below here. Okay, go to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Same thing. Okay, it's not so clear yet. We're in this consolidation. Let's wait for more information and just scalps on lower time frame. You see this whole choppiness? Not good. Not good to trade in that environment. You don't need to be looking. This is a 12-hour candle. One candle. Can you imagine one candle? You're spending hours at the chart. If you're so tired and exhausted, and you're just getting wrecked in the trade because you're expecting it to move higher because you saw a gap up here and you're trying to catch the short, but you have to deal with that one day, a morning, an evening, a morning, an evening, and morning. 12-hour candle. Not ideal. But there is liquidity being built on both sides as this consolidation plays out. And oil, yes, oil, good. Really expecting lower prices on oil. Save your money and buy some gas soon when price goes a lot lower. Let's look at this trend line here. Look at that. That's just asking to be taken out. This is, it's coming down here at least to 55, which is a decent drop in fuel price. You might see a tweet or post from President-elect Trump saying whatever he's going to do, and oil prices drop. That sort of thing. News that helps push price on its way and builds the narrative. So yes. And then we have Bitcoin, 100K still. Crazy. Okay, what a move. And now it's just lingering around there. Okay, chopping people up over here in this entire range. Not a good place to trade, so yeah, it's at all-time high, so nothing much to say about that. Nothing much to say in terms of a trade setup. Just consolidating. Best to leave it alone. And okay, I'll leave it as that. And have a good trading week, and see you guys next time.